We became conscious of the scheme when it was exhibited in the City Hall in 2017. We were very surprised with what was being proposed. The earliest advice we got was that we should try to look at alternative proposals, and that being against something was not enough. And the most obvious proposal was something that had been looked at years ago for a tidal barrier. They had said, you'd need 2 gates and you'd need more of this and more of that. And, the tidal barrier is viable and it can be done economically if we want to do it. The real advantage for a tidal barrier for Cork is to protect the city centre as it is now, to let us develop it as a historic place, and also what it would mean for the protection of the larger city downstream and the docklands.
Based on the latest Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report, the earliest a barrier might be needed in Cork is at least 50 years away. When such a decision might have to be made, it'll need to be made in the context of a properly sited barrier and a properly designed barrier. So in the context of the SCC proposal at Little Island, it's not viable for a number of reasons. The first, I suppose, is that the gated element is too small, and that would lead to unsafe navigation. It also would impact the 2 environmentally designated sites. So of the barrier locations, it's the one that's immediately adjacent to the sites. Another factor obviously is cost. The capital cost of barrier only becomes viable if you have about 0.5 metre sea level rise or more. But at that stage, if you don't implement it in conjunction with quayside defences, it would have to open about twice a week. So the operational costs and the operational impacts of it at that stage would start to make it become unviable. In summary, the SCC proposal isn't technically viable or environmentally viable, and also having a whole life cost in the billions, it's nowhere close to being economically viable, particularly in the context of the proposed scheme, which is deliverable, protects against both sources of flooding for about 1/10 of the cost.